What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for Venom: The Last Dance. Finally saw it at the 11th hour. I finally got to catch the movie in theaters on my birthday, which, oh my god, has today been a good motherfucking birthday. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you already know why I'm in such a good mood today. I won't get into it just for anyone that does that suddenly avoided all the Hiroaka leaks for the final volume release. I'll just spare you guys the spoilers, but if you know, you follow me on Twitter, you've probably seen them. And all I gotta say, man, I am happy, and if you guys follow Twitter once again, I have just been hella toxic today. Being the most annoying motherfucker, but hey, they did it first, man. They've been overconfident for far too long. It's about damn time they got a taste of their own medicine. Anyway, guys, so enough of me being in a good mood from that. Best present I could have for my birthday. Last time I was this happy my birthday was back in 2018 when I was blessed with the Infinity War trailer. The first one for my birthday all those years ago. If you guys are like long time OG subscribers, you guys might remember my hype for that movie and that trailer when it dropped on my birthday. Crazy shit, man. But anyway, the movie itself, Venom: The Last Dance, the end of the trilogy, but I highly doubt this will probably be the last time we see Tom Hardy as Venom. I got my theories on what we could see in the future, which I'll talk more about that in the spoilers discussion. But anyway, guys, overall, man, the movie was fucking brilliant, man. I had an absolute blast. What I will say, I definitely like Let There Be Carnage a lot more than this movie. I would probably give this the slight edge over the first Venom movie. Very slight, man. Very slight, but this movie was fantastic. And I just had a blast watching it, man. So, yeah, let's just jump right in. So the movie is directed by Kelly Marcel, if I'm pronouncing that right. And, of course, stars Tom Hardy, Juno Temple, Rhinus, if I have no idea how you pronounce this dude's name, I'm sorry. Crystal Fernandez, Chiwell, how the fuck do you pronounce that dude's last name? That's weird. And many more. And of course Andy Serkis as well. And many more. In the plot of Venom: The Last Dance, is Eddie Brock and Venom must make a devastating decision as they're pursued by a mysterious military man and an alien monster from Venom's homeworld. So first off, the cast is great, man. Obviously, Tom Hardy once again steals the show, man. He is incredible as Eddie, Venom, the buddy cop thing they got going on there, man. Like arguing and bickering, man. It was great in the first two movies, man, and that continues on here, man. They are just absolutely hysterical together. So many hilarious scenes, man, where like Eddie is hungover, from at the end of Let There Be Carnage, and then being thrown to the MCU, and then being thrown right back to the Sony universe, and he's hungover with his at this Mexican bar, and he wants some water, but Venom's making him it's like turning him into a bartender, man. Just so many great comedy moments between these two. There's also one where they meet with Ryan's character who plays Martin the family, who you guys may remember also played Lizard, Dr. Connors in TASM 1. Now, if you guys have watched my reaction to trailers, when you guys knew he popped up, I had no idea that was him. Because he was basically, I couldn't recognize him with the long hair and the beard. It wasn't until I went on Twitter and everyone was playing like, oh shit, that's Dr. Connors. That's the guy that played Dr. Connors in TASM 1. That I realized that was him. And it never gets revealed that he's actually Dr. Connors and the Venom movies take place in the same universe as TASM. None of that shit happens. He is a completely separate entity, just a dude that's like on a family trip, that's just dragging his family on a trip to Area 51 to see some aliens. That's all there is to his character, man. There is no like master reveal that he's actually Dr. Connors or anything like that. These movies are not connected to TASM in any way, shape, or form. But, he was still great, man. He was pretty fun. But anyway, as I was saying, like, when Eddie finally meets them, he offers, hey, man, you hungry? And he's like, yes, I'm very hungry. He gives him a food, there's some corn on there, some stuff, and Ben's like, hard pass! And Lord just flings it behind him, man. It was fucking hilarious. There's just so many great comedic scenes with, man, like, the buddy cop, the dynamic between Venom and Eddie was great. It's great as always, man. The rest of the characters I thought was pretty cool. The bartender, Christo, he was hilarious. He's not in the movie that much, but he was pretty fun as well. The guy that plays Rex, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. He was pretty cool as well. Juno, who plays Dr. Teddy, I thought she was alright, man. I didn't really think much of her character, man, but she was pretty good. Now, we gotta talk about Null. Andy Serkis, once again, being like, I swear this dude, like, whenever they need a character that's gonna be 90% CG that they need to do, that they're gonna have to do motion capture for and, like, all CG, or maybe they did some makeup with this one. I'm not sure if it was completely CG, like with, motion capture, like, the Apes movies, which... Actually, speaking of the Planet of the Apes movie, like, I don't know if you guys have this when you guys saw Venom, but when I saw Venom, there was a trailer for this movie that was kind of weird, but it was honestly one of those movies that I can imagine gets a very strong, cult status, where it's this movie where I don't see it doing, like, big numbers in the box office, but then again, it could be, like, Everything Everywhere All at Once, where it's just, like, it's just, like, everyone falls in love with it, it makes a shit ton of money in the box office, it gets nominated for a shit ton of Oscars, and, wins a bunch of them. I forget the name of the movie, but it's like this dude who is like an ape. And I don't know if the ape thing is meant, if him being a monkey is meant to be more metaphorical about something, or if he's literally just a monkey, because no one brings up, at least in the trailer, that it's a monkey. They just treat him like he's some dude, and I don't know if this is supposed to be like some goodnight pun pun type metaphors going on here, or if that's the thing, but it looked very weird, where he's like trying to be like this singer and everything, man. It looked weird, it looked interesting, but definitely weird. It's definitely a movie that's going to have a very specific audience that's not going to gravitate to a lot of people, but it'll definitely find its niche probably when the film releases. It looked interesting. I don't think I'll watch it personally because it didn't really interest me, and I thought it was kind of like, what the fuck is this? But I think this will definitely find its audience. If you guys know what movie I'm talking about, tell me down below in the comments what the title of it was, because I legit completely forgot about it once the trailers came out. Which also, speaking of the movies, one thing else I meant to guys. As you guys may know, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I went back to the original AMC that we used to go to back when we originally lived in Stafford, where I saw TASM 2 there, I saw Winter Soldier there, all the other Marvel movies that came out during the mid to early to like mid 2010s, from 2011 to 2013. I saw them all there, at that AMC. And along with a handful of other movies as well. And man, it was so good to be home back there, man. It was basically like how I left it, man. The second I walked in there, man, and that smell of popcorn hit my nose, I was like, oh, I remember this smell very clear. Like I never left, man. But I was gonna say, AMC got the best popcorn out of the game, man. Like to be fair, I haven't went to a Regal in years since we left Stafford. We went there once to one that was near the Denver. That was honestly kind of a dump, but it looks like they've like renovated since then. It looks a lot better because it has its own IMAX screen and everything, man. So it's probably a lot better now because I remember the seats were like coming undone, man. Like, there are pieces missing, man. It was not released in the theater we went to for whatever movie we saw when we went there. We also do have a fucking Alamo Draft House in Woodbridge as well. That I would like to go there one time just to see what that's all about. And yeah, and obviously I've already tried Cinemark, but from what I've tasted, man, I think AMC still got the best popcorn in the game, man. That's just my pro, but yeah, it was nice to be there, man. The wall of movies is still there, man. The theaters were like, the layouts were about the same, man, although the lights weren't on for some reason. And it was just fun to just be back there. It was busy as hell. I guess because it's like right next to a mall and it's Black Friday. So there was a lot of traffic, a huge line, man. I literally couldn't use my phone. I could not get a good signal in there to like look on Twitter. So that's why I didn't my tweets are always kind of out of whack during that time, man. And yeah, it was a whole thing, man. But hey, I got to see a movie, and yeah, it was good to return to that AMC once again, man. Very nostalgic, was awesome. But anyway, back to Andy Serkis, man. Andy Serkis, man, as no, like I said, he like whatever they need a character that's gonna be motion capture, they just get him to do it. But he is in which you guys remember, he also directed Let There Be Carnage previously, which I kind of wonder why they didn't bring him back for this one. Maybe didn't want to do it. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, because I thought he did a really great job directing that movie all those years ago. But anyway, I'm getting all traffic. He was fantastic, man. Null isn't in the movie that much. He is a glorified cameo, for being honest. But man, when he pops up, man, it is fucking awesome, man. And as someone that is a huge fan of Donny Cates' run, man, you guys know I did comic reactions to that back in the day. It was so good to see him in live action. They did such an amazing job adapting him to live action. He looks so badass. And also both Donnie and Ryan did both get shout outs in the credits, which did make me happy. Although I'm sure they're not getting a penny of this movie's box office, earnings or whatnot, man. But it was nice they at least shouted them out that they got a shout out in the credits. I think that was nice of them to at least do that much. But I feel that's kind of the bare minimum. But yeah, no, man, like I said, we don't see a lot of him or Clintar, but the bits of it we do see, man, he looks fucking amazing, man. And I do hope if we do get either a Venom 4, or we see Null in the Spider-Man 4, or Secret Wars, or whatever, I just need more Null, man, because they did such an amazing job, man, adapting him from the comics to here. Andy Serkis sounded amazing. He looked amazing. For some reason, they didn't really show his face that much in this movie, man. Like, they waited until, like, you only get to see little brief glimpses till the mid-credit scene where you do get a full look of his face, man, and he looked fucking phenomenal. They cooked with Null's design, man. Like, even though they definitely messed up in certain aspects, we'll talk about in a minute with some of the other symbiotes and whatnot that were in this movie, they cooked with Null. And you know what? That's all I can ask for. I got Null, because you guys know I love Null, so it's good that we at least got Null. You know, Null was done justice. So that was awesome, man. Like I said, the comedy of the movie is amazing. I do like, well, this movie definitely keeps up like that whole like 90s cheese of the original Venom comics from the first two movies. Once again, continues here being very comedian, just out there and just all around wacky. This movie does lean a little bit more towards the serious side. I probably because they are adapting bits of Donny Cates' run, which I hope one day we do get like a full adaptation of Donny Cates' run. Well, that ends up being like the next trilogy of films when Venom is like plucked out of the Sonyverse and put back into the MCU permanently this time, or that's its own separate thing, still within the Sonyverse, man, or whatever the case may be, man. I do hope we one day get a proper adaptation of Donny Cates' Venom run, man, because, oh my god, there are so many amazing moments that I want to see, especially with Daniel, man. Oh, I want to see Daniel get adapted. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. That's what I'm saying. This one did lean a little bit more towards the serious side of Donny Cates' run, which I appreciate, man. I thought they were all really well done, especially on like the ending of the movie, man. And while there is not a direct reference to Daniel, they kind of sideways in a weird way do kind of reference him, because there's a scene where like Eddie's in the Volkswagen with the hippies, you know, the father that loves aliens and everything. There's a scene where Venom mentions that he would be a great dad, which, like I said, not a direct mention to Daniel, but we know if you guys read the comics, he is a father from the comics raising Daniel, and you know, I thought that was a nice little kind of nod to Daniel. I'll take what I get, but I thought that was pretty cool as well, man. Also, Mrs. Chen makes a small cameo in the movie. She's like the only other returning character from the previous two movies, which I do wish, if I have a couple flaws in the movie, but I'll just tell you guys one of them right now. One thing I do wish we got to see Annie and, you know, her husband. I wish they kind of had like a cameo appearance as well. We just saw what happened to them, but they have like literally no presence in the movie at all. Not even really much of a mention in this movie, man. But so yeah, like I said, Mrs. Chen is the only one we get, and it was pretty cool as well. But yeah, the action once again is great, man. I love the symbiote hunters, man. I thought this was first of all, the CGI in the movie looks incredible. Both the symbiotes as well as Null and the symbiote hunters, man. Everything looked phenomenal with the CGI, man. They really did a great job, you know, adapting and, you know, making the symbiote look good. The CGI on them looked absolutely incredible. But one thing I loved about the symbiote hunter that was really cool was how they eat people. Because they eat people like a lawnmower. By that I mean they chomp someone up and you straight up see blood gushing out from their back, from like the back of their heads. It looks fucking awesome, man. Like, this movie almost felt like it was like definitely one of the goriest PG-13 movies I've seen. Well, it isn't, but like, you know, Doctor Strange Multiverse Man, I don't think it was as gory as Multiverse Man, because I don't even know how Sam Raimi was still able to get a PG-13 with that movie, with how graphic it got in points. But also, like, okay, goddamn, there's a lot of blood in this movie for a PG-13 movie. Okay, I see you. So, yeah, that was really cool, man. Then when it starts eating symbiotes as well, you see, like, the symbiote goo or whatever coming out the back of its head like a lawnmower. It was really hype, man. I was like, oh shit. That was really hype, man. And yeah, like I said, I thought they did a great job with the little bits of serious, but I thought they were really well handled. The comedic moments are phenomenal as always. Like, there's another one when they get to Vegas and which showed a bit of this in the trailer where you have to get a disguise, and like he like takes out this guy that's peeing and he ends up pissing on him. There's a running joke about Eddie not having any shoes. He keeps losing his shoes. There's a running joke about that throughout the entire movie. And yeah, man, this movie was just an overall blast. Now, let's get into some of the flaws I have with the movie before we jump right into the spoilers discussion, like we usually do. First of all, I have to say, one, I already mentioned I wish we got to see Annie, and we got to see Annie and see what she was up to. She got at least like an appearance in the movie. I would have liked if we got seen some of that. But definitely but one of the biggest flaws is, of course, Toxin. Now, to be fair, he's never referred to as Toxin, but if you've read the comics, you know that's supposed to be Toxin. So, as you guys remember at the end of Let There Be Carnage, we ended the movie off with with them setting up that the detective would end, because the detective would get the Toxin symbiote just like he did in the comics, who you guys know is one of the offsprings of Carnage. Which we do kind of get them in, but to be fair, like I said, Toxin's also a glorified cameo. He's not really in the movie as much. But the design of him, while looks cool, to be fair, I didn't hate the design. I thought it looked cool. It's not Toxin, because you guys know in the comics, Toxin is like top half red, bottom half black. And in the movie, he's just green. He doesn't even have the green tongue. He just has a standard tongue, no green tongue. Which I was like, goddamn, you guys can't at least give him the green tongue? So, yeah, listen, his design looked cool, but like, I kind of wish. It's like they saw that they knew the symbiote. There was a symbiote named Toxin without actually looking at pictures of him. They just said, his name is Toxin. He must be green, like toxic waste. So make him green. Not knowing that he's actually, black and red and black, like in the comics, man, with a green tongue. So that was a little disappointing, man. The rest of the symbiotes did look pretty cool, to be fair. There were some really nice ones we got to see at the end of the movie. But yeah, like that, I wish we got some more of that as well. But yeah, that was probably the... That also, I wish we got more Null. I wish Null got a lot more screen time as well. But like I said, he's a glorified cameo in the movie, but like, man, do I wish Null got some more screen time in the film. But I think that's everything I can think of off the top of my head without getting into spoilers. So as always, guys, giving you guys my final verdict, then we'll get into the spoilers discussion. So you guys have not seen the film and you don't want to get spoiled, leave. But anyway, guys, over my final verdict for this movie is going to be a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies. I had an absolute blast watching this movie, man, from start to finish, and yeah, it was just awesome. But anyway, guys, now we will get into spoiler discussion, so you guys, like I said, do not want to get spoiled, leave. Anyway, let's get into it. So, first of all, Venom dies in the movie, which I thought was kind of surprising that Venom would sacrifice him. First of all, I gotta say, the CGI looked amazing here when we see Venom kind of like merging in the symbiote hunters to get them all, turn them all into one collective symbiote like mass as Venom crawls over to the area where they have like the acid to take out the symbiote hunters along with him by having the commander dude use the finger scanner with the eye the fingerprint scanner that they got, and then drop the acid on there to defeat them, to destroy the symbiote hunters, and of course take out Venom as well, so Noah wouldn't be able to get the codex, which was also kind of cool. I loved also the vision of the symbiote hunters and the look of the codex, man. I thought they did a great job adapting the codex into the movie, man. But, so I thought the CGI on that looked absolutely incredible, man. One of the other ones, and I have no idea if the symbiote is from the comics. I think they are. I think this is a symbiote from the comics, from Separation Anxiety, one of the original symbiotes that were originally digital, like with Scream and everything. I think this one might have been called, Speed or something. I'm not sure. I am very not well versed in symbiotes, besides Venom, Carnage, and Toxin. And of course, Anti-Venom as well, which I think made an appearance. There's one symbiote that looked like Anti-Venom, but I don't know if it was actually Anti-Venom. But it looked like Anti-Venom. But yeah, we see this one that ends up connecting with the woman who her whole thing is that she got struck by lightning, but her brother died after being struck by lightning. Which at first I thought this was going to mean that they were going to introduce like the female Electro, and that was going to be her thing. She was going to be like the female Electro, but no, she just got struck by lightning and then just connects with a symbiote that's basically the Flash, keeping up with the lightning thing. And the symbiote itself looked fucking cool. I love to say, man, like when we see it zipping across, the map and everything, man, during the final battle, which was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I thought, but yeah, that symbiote looked amazing as well, man. Let's see if there's anything else I can think of before we get into the post-credit scene, both the post-credit scene and the mid-credit scene. But I think that's everything I want to talk about, other than, like I said, Mrs. Chen makes an appearance, cameo at the casino. That whole scene was pretty funny when Venom, throws out all their money they got from Marvin and be like, oh yeah, let's go to the slot. I feels like all my problems, as he's, pulling the lever, being like, it feels like all my problems are washing away. That whole casino sequence, man, was fucking hilarious, man. But yeah, and also how the symbiote hunters regenerate themselves. The CGI for this movie looked incredible when it comes to the symbiotes and everything, man. Anyway, as I was saying, But yeah, I think that's about everything I think of. There's probably some other scenes I'm missing. Oh yeah, there was also the whole thing where Venom wants to go to New York and they're trying to travel to New York, which a part of me was kind of hoping that they would get to New York and they would finally meet Spidey, or whether it was like whether it would be Tom or Andrew. I was kind of, but they never make it to New York together. Like I said, just Venom sacrifices himself, and it's just Eddie chilling out in New York, and like no mention of Spidey, no reference to him, no nothing. Which I was kind of hoping we would finally get like a Spidey meeting between them, but I also kind of figured that we're probably not in this movie anyway. We might have to get that, in a future, in like in Secret Wars or Spider-Man 4, when Venom is probably brought into the MCU permanently, whatever the case may be on that. But yeah, like Venom sacrificing himself was a really impactful scene where like Venom and Eddie say their goodbyes before Venom sacrifices himself, man, to defeat the Hunter, so that Null can't get out of Clintar. But like I said, now let's get into the post credit. So the mid credit scene was just basically Null being like, "I will be back, I will return," and like I said, Eddie serves, and we finally get a good look at his face. The scene looked incredible, man. Like I said, I hope we see more Null in either Spider-Man 4, Venom 4, Secret Wars, something. I need more Null, man. Like, I love Null from Donny Cates' run. They did an amazing job at adapting him. Like I said, they didn't do a good job with Toxin, but they at least got Null right, which I feel like is a bit more important than Toxin. Sorry, Toxin fans. But yeah, that one. But the post-credit scene was interesting, man, because it seems like they're setting up a Venom 4 where Venom is not fully dead, where we see the bartender get out of Area 51 after all the fighting has already been dealt with, and we see him walking away, and then we see like a bit of the Venom symbiote like moving around and getting near a cockroach. Now, and that's where it ends, right before when the symbiote and the cockroach meet. Which also see Venom transform in a bunch of different animals. Like we see of course in the trailers we see Venom horse. We also see him take over a fish, a frog, and in the end credits we see him take over like a kangaroo and a few other animals, and they all looked amazing. All the designs they used for those looked absolutely incredible. But yeah, I'm kind of curious where this is going to lead. Maybe this will be that Venom takes over the cockroach, and then the cockroach scurries its way back to New York and finally reconnects with Eddie. We'll have to wait and see on that one, man. Like I said, I don't think this is the end of Tom Hardy's run as Venom. Like, I still think they're right there. We're either going to get a Venom 4, or they're going to bring him into the MCU, and that's where we're going to finally get our meeting with Spidey and Venom. And maybe we'll finally get the spider logo on Venom now. We'll have to wait and see on that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, man. This was absolutely just an amazing film, and I just had a blast watching it, man. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments, guys. What you guys saw the movie? What are your predictions for the future of Tom Hardy Venom? Do you think this is the end? Do you think we're going to see him in Spider-Man 4? We're going to get a Venom 4? We're going to see him in Secret Wars? Leave your all thoughts down in the comments. Or we see something Kraven the Hunter. Is that going to tie in things? In that movie? We'll have to wait and see on that coming out next month. And yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me social if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.